The moment you open your mouth to justify your existence, you have already surrendered. Picture the scene. An accusation lands, sharp and cold. A subtle jab at a dinner party. A questioning of your competence in a high-stakes meeting. A partner twisting your words to make you the villain. You feel it immediately. The heat rising in your chest, the spike of cortisol, the frantic screaming of your ego demanding that you correct the record. Your brain tells you that if they just understood the context, they would see you are right. So you speak. You clarify. You offer evidence. You provide the why. And in that exact second, you have handed them your throat. The world does not judge you by the truth of your words. It judges you by the desperation of your delivery. In the theater of power, the one who explains is the one who submits. The one who defends is the one who accepts the other person's authority to sit in judgment over them. Niccolò Machiavelli, the man who peered into the darkest corners of the human heart, understood a brutal truth that modern society has tried to civilize out of you. Power is not about being right. Power is about who holds the frame. The moment you defend yourself, you step into their frame. You become the defendant in their courtroom. But today, we are going to burn that courtroom down. We are going to dissect the psychology of the non-defense. We are going to explore why your biology betrays you and how to override it with a strategy that would make a prince untouchable. Why do you do it? Why is the urge to explain as strong as the urge to breathe? It is a ghost of your primitive past. Millions of years ago, to be misunderstood by the tribe was a death sentence. If the tribe thought you were a thief or a coward, you were exiled. And in the wild, exile meant death. Your brain evolved to see social disapproval as a physical threat. But you are no longer a hunter-gatherer fearing exile. You are a modern sovereign, yet you are walking around with legacy software that treats a snarky comment from a coworker like a saber-toothed tiger. When you rush to explain, you are signaling to everyone around you that their opinion is the oxygen you need to survive. You are telling them, "Please, validate me so I can feel safe again." Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, "It is much safer to be feared than loved. In modern terms, it is much safer to be respected than understood." When you prioritize being understood, you are playing a losing game. A king does not explain his decree to the peasant. A lion does not explain its hunt to the gazelle. Status can be viewed as a mathematical relationship. Status inversely proportional to justification. The more you justify, the lower your status falls. The less you speak, the more the value of your presence increases. This is the law of scarcity applied to the human soul.
Every human interaction has a hidden architecture of power. In every conflict, there is a judge and a defendant. The judge asks the questions. The judge sets the tone. The judge holds the silence. The defendant provides the answers. The defendant fills the silence. The defendant sweats. When someone asks why you were late or why you did something a certain way, they are often testing the fence. They are seeing if you will accept the role of the defendant. If you provide a list of excuses, the traffic, the alarm, the complexity, you have accepted their robes. You have told them they have the right to demand an account of your life. Machiavelli understood that the most powerful person in the room is the one who cannot be read. Silence is a dark mirror. When you refuse to defend yourself, the attacker is forced to look at their own aggression. They expect resistance. They expect you to push back, so they have something to lean against. When you provide no resistance, they lose their balance. They start to fill the vacuum with their own nervousness. They start to explain their own accusation. The power has flipped. You haven't said a word, yet you are now the judge, and they are the ones pleading for a return to social harmony. If silence is your shield, then reframing is your sword. There are times when silence is not enough, times where the situation demands a response. but a response is not a defense. So listen carefully the levels I am about to say. Level 1. Amused mastery. When the attack comes, you treat it like a toddler throwing a tantrum. You do not get angry. You are amused. If someone calls you selfish, you don't list your good deeds. You offer a slight smirk and say, "It's interesting that you see it that way," then return to your task. Level 2. Agree and amplify. This is the Aikido of conversation. You take their energy and double it until it becomes absurd. If accused of only caring about money, you agree. "You caught me. I actually swim in a vault of gold coins every Tuesday. It's terrible for the back, but great for the ego." You have turned their serious accusation into a joke, proving you are too secure to be touched by it. Level 3. The fogging technique. You agree with the grain of truth, but refuse the shame. If told a report is a mess and you are incompetent, you address the fact. "You're right. The report has errors. I'll have the corrected version to you by 5. You ignored the incompetent label entirely. You did not defend your intelligence because your intelligence is not up for debate. None of these techniques work if they are just lines you've memorized. If your voice shakes, if your eyes dart, if your energy is pleading for the interaction to end, you will fail. You cannot fake sovereignty. You must build the internal architecture to support it through shadow work. Why does it hurt when someone calls you a failure? It hurts because a part of you suspects they might be right. To be untouchable, you must own your own darkness. You must accept that you are capable of being selfish, capable of being wrong, capable of being the villain. When you integrate your shadow, you no longer need to defend your image. You know who you are. If someone calls you arrogant and you have accepted that you are confident and sometimes sharp, the word has no hook. It passes through you. You must develop a double life of the mind. On the outside, you are the polite professional. On the inside, you are the sovereign. You are the only judge in your own courtroom. The theory is over. Now comes the practice. Machiavelli did not write for the library. He wrote for the battlefield. For the next 7 days, you are going to play a game. The rules are simple. No justifications, no excuses, no because. If you are late, say, "I am late." Stop. Do not mention the traffic. If you make a mistake, say, "I made a mistake. It's being fixed." Stop. If someone insults you, look them in the eye for 3 seconds of total silence. Then ask, "Is there anything else you'd like to get off your chest?" Watch what happens. You will feel a physical urge to speak a burning in your throat. That is the child inside you begging for permission to exist. Let that urge burn to ash. As you stop explaining, you will notice a shift in others. First, they will be confused. Then, they will be frustrated. And finally, they will be respectful. People are drawn to certainty. And nothing screams certainty louder than a person who does not feel the need to explain why they are the way they are. Reclaim your energy. Plug the leaks in your soul. Step out of the courtroom and into the throne. Now, subscribe not because I asked, but because you are done being a prey animal in a world of predators.